Hello, Geminis. Happy Freedom Friday and happy full moon phase, Geminis. Let's do it. Let's see what your cards have to say. Hopefully, you all are taking good care of yourselves during this full moon phase, which can be a really sensitive time, right? Where everything is fully illuminated, right? Things that you're trying to move on from and things that you're trying to move towards, like more happiness, peace, joy, love, all of those things, right? You're trying to become wealthier in things that you've been praying for, right? So there's definitely that purging part, that letting go, that banishing of anything that doesn't serve your highest purpose, right? And sometimes along with those emotions goes people, places, and things. Let's do it, Geminis. Let's see what your cards have to say. Let's see what your cards have to say. Gemini, somebody's feeling real sunny right now. Somebody is feeling really sunny. And that's right. Keep that sunny disposition, Geminis. Really, keep that sunny disposition. What you're leaving behind is energies that try to trigger any kind of low self-esteem, try to trigger any anger, try to trigger any, just getting away from narcissism, narcissistic energies. Like you're getting away from anything that does not motivate you to have positive ideas about things. You know what I mean? It's like I see somebody traveling, meeting new people, new customers, starting businesses. It's just so many positive things that's coming your way, but you got to make room for, and purging is not a comfortable thing. Sometimes you feel very uncomfortable having to let certain people go because you're elevating to a higher frequency. You're like, I don't need that burnout in my life. I really, really don't. I'm moving on from that, and so you can ask Source for an exodus strategy to move on from them. If you're a person who really doesn't like confrontation, you can really ask Source for an exodus strategy, because to overthink it, here we have the Three of Wands, here we have the King of Swords, here we also have the Eight of Swords, and we have the Ace of Cups. To overthink it could really it's kind of appealing to your demons. So if you're already an overgiver, which I know you know that because you're the king of on your throne of your thinking, right? You're all incredibly smart. I say that every reading, but it's the truth. Even in my new subscribers come in, you all are incredibly smart, funny. Have generally a really sunny disposition at your highest frequency, right? And this is a person who knows why they're here on planet Earth, right? So it's when you know why you're here on planet Earth, when you know what your purpose is on this planet, and you're interacting with energies that are trying to trigger certain emotions to make you sad, or go back down to a place where you feel like, okay, I just came up out of that personal hell. It would be like somebody who is, you meet somebody, because I see somebody possibly, like I said, meeting new clients and new customers, new love interest, possibly new job. Like you are in a very powerful position because your gifts are making room for you. So I see just your whole mindset. Like there's a whole sea of, I see this right here, whole sea of opportunity out there. So why would you stay in a place where your water is, I need more than two hands, where your creativity is drying up, you're overthinking things, and these ropes are not even heavy, by the way. You can just like shake them off and then pull off the blindfold right there. You got all these powerful tools to stop overthinking things. Why would you stay in a place like this where you're overthinking hurt, pain, deep disappointment, people wanting you to carry their own, you're like sweating yourself out trying to carry other people's stuff, when you have a sea of opportunities to help people out here. And that's where you're going. That's where I see you going. Like, some people are committed to, so 2 and 3 is 5, right? Some people are committed to staying at 5 of Wands, where they're battling, within themselves. They're battling their demons. Should I leave some bridges burned, with my friends? Should I leave some bridges burned with my family? Should I leave my... They too big. They stuck right there. 5 is in the middle of 1 and 9, right? Which 9 ends in single digits of numbers. So they're, instead of them pivoting forward to focus on, okay, I'd rather be booked and busy. That's the direction you're headed, and that's why you're saying I'm leaving all that mess behind. What you notice in these two pictures right here, these two cards right here, are people that their back turned. They like, I'm on my phone. I'm starting businesses. I'm making phone calls. I'm getting some stuff happening, right? And so Source is saying, but if you're in a, in relationship with energies that want you to kind of sort of carry their, their burdens, it can be exhausting. It literally can drive you crazy. And so you're trying to have an overflow of good news, happy tears, and some people are, kind of sort of with their sad tears and then feeling like they're going crazy in their mind. They're almost putting your flame out. So you're going to have to move on from that. So, and that's a painful decision for some people, to have to make that. I need to move on from something and, just move on with my life. So, yeah. So, there may be some friends, there may be some family members. Like I said, you're at a steady pace where you're saying, okay, my gifts are making room for me. My purpose is making room for me. So I'm gonna have to leave some energies behind that keep trying to be Debbie and David Downers in my life. So here's the Tower card, and it's a very vulnerable time for somebody, because when your head and heart are at war with each other, looking at the cards here, and Source keep telling you to move on from some people, places, and things, you're already, like, somebody is already traveling. It's like somebody has said, let me see, if you can just kind of, like, it's like you're already headed in one direction, right? And something comes across your path that just makes you pause. And so it's like, okay, I can push that date back. I was going to relocate. Let's say, because I see somebody dating possibly. I'm going to relocate. Then you meet somebody where you are right now. So you take you say, okay, you know what? Maybe if you have a lease or whatever, maybe I'll do like month to month or whatever and stay where I am, and just kind of sort of see what's going on, see if there's a possibility there. Only until you find out that it wasn't what you thought it was, right? So 8 and 3 is 11, minus 1 is 10, right? That they won't get up. Like, you keep trying to tell people, like, come on, you can do it, you can get up. I've been in that pain myself. I've been there, the same place you've been. And you start to realize that the person doesn't want to get up. Like, they want to stay stuck right there. Even their words and how they speak are totally different. Remember, 10, this is 10 of swords right here. 10 is the number for instant manifestation. So while you're speaking positivity and talking about going forward and doing this and doing that, they're kind of speaking in riddles. And again, here you are operating in your purpose, and you're trying to tell people, hey, you know what? And your light source is making things make sense, and so on and so forth. And they still swinging a sword, going through David and Goliath situation. And while you are compassionate towards that, because you've been here before, this 5 and 5 right here is letting you know, okay, I'm ready to be booked and busy and not burdened by energies that's trying to some degree, they are trying to put out your flame. You're like, man, my head and heart are at war with you. You start overthinking. Remember, you've already been there before. You're not looking for the approval. Source is already giving you the approval to move on somewhere. Here we have the Ace of Wands here. And so that's what I see somebody doing. I see somebody saying, hey, that's where your third eye is open. You're like, okay, they're almost there. But see, almost there can be frustrating because you're ready to do some things and people are still kind of stuck in that woe is me, hurting. They're hurting and they're not necessarily, you hear them saying things, Gemini, like they want help, but then you're also hearing that they're not, remember, time is money, right? They're not making time for help. If that makes sense, to you, maybe it's fear, doubt, uncertainty, maybe they care about what other people think. Whatever it is, you're saying you're committed to being in your purpose. And your gifts are making room for you. So, like I said, even if somebody were to try to use something against you, Gemini, to try to hurt you in some way, shape, form, or fashion, it would backfire so bad, on them, that could literally send people into a whole nother, stratosphere of just like, and here we have coexist, right? So this coexist is really about you coexisting with your other planetary alignments, not necessarily coexisting with people first. Initially, you may have thought that, like, okay, I got to work with certain people, I got to interact with certain people and that, but only you know yourself best. So this would be like your sun, moon, rising, Venus, other placements in your birth chart, right? So that's why I talk about pulling birth charts so much, Gemini, so that you'll know yourself so intimately and so set apart from every other Gemini on the planet. That Gemini over there may sit there and wait for somebody for the next 5-10 years to get up out of woe is me and start going to therapy and start start getting up and moving and taking that sword of truth and cutting some people out of their life. That may be one Gemini may say, okay, I'll sit here and wait for somebody to do that. Another Gemini may say, I've done that before and I push my plans back. And so I need to move beyond this. So, to each his own. Either way, your heart, you still have a big heart. Your heart is still in the right place. Here we have the Nine of Pentacles. It's just your intentions behind it. I see you moving towards financial independence. And that's what Source is trying to get somebody to do. Here we also have the Seven of Pentacles. So I definitely see somebody possibly taking a trip somewhere, kind of just sitting down and just, flushing out all the toxins in your spirit. Like you need a sea of, when you think about seawater, you think about salt water, right? And that salt, the sound of that salt water flushing out, internally, helping somebody to move beyond something. Here we also have the Ace of Pentacles. So somebody's definitely thinking about legacy, definitely thinking about legacy wealth. And again, who you talking about building a legacy with, you're not expecting anybody to be perfect. You're just expecting people to just, recognize what you've already come through and just like where you are in your walk. Like, so there has to be some compromise there as well. So that's where somebody is. Somebody is saying, you're having a tower moment, an awakening. Because you've already been there before. So, and you've already been at this place right here, neglecting your own inner child. That's where somebody's already been. You've already lamented over stuff in the past. Somebody's just definitely not interested in going back to that. So here we have the King of Swords. I definitely see somebody with an energy that is, like I said, I see somebody dating somebody or connecting with somebody in business or something where you all are very, very wise and cutting out the distractions. So it's you and possibly a love interest. You all are cutting out the distractions in your life. Here we also have the Six of Swords, and 6 and 3 is 9, right? 9 of Swords, a nightmare. Here we have the Knight, 8. Both of you all, like I said, may have been accused of being crazy in the past, for real, like by people who you didn't want to just hang in there with them while they keep burning you out and stressing you out. You may not have want to hang in there with narcissists from the past. So, like I said, somebody's possibly new love in their life. You're learning, you and they are learning new love, or new love, like new partnership or new something in your life. You all have learned that people will call you crazy, say all kinds of stuff when they can't control your universe, when they can't control your mind. They don't have any power over you. So, but guess what? You're still on your throne. Your reputation is still intact. So, like I said, lots of things happening here. Lots and lots and lots of things happening, Gemini. But it's all good, though. It really, really is all good. Some of you all may have, befriended some people. And as you're continuing to elevate, a lot of things are happening. Somebody is definitely moving on from some disappointment. Definitely moving on from some past disappointment. So, definitely moving on from some past disappointment. Here we have the Six of Pentacles, the Hermit card. Here we have the Devil card. Here we have the Queen of Swords, the Judgment card, and then also the Judgment card, right? So, yeah, judgment against some energies from your past who harshly judged you for even operating in your purpose, right? People who, that you moved on from that. And the interesting thing is that you and your person, whether it's you in a business situation or you in a romantic situation, have experienced the same judgment, like the same type of judgment, right? And guess what? Those energies, like I said, narcissistic or bullying energies, appeal to your demons of fear, doubt, uncertainty about your own, where you're going and all that. Here we have the Hermit card right here. And, so somebody coming out of your crab shell, or your hermit shell in this case, have to carefully vet every single thought. You're not playing mind games with people anymore. You're just basically stating, hey, I've already waited around. I know what my purpose is, and I'm going to move when Source tells me to move. I'm not moving in fear anymore. That's the devil. I'm moving by faith. So if Source tells me to hang around and be patient, then I'm going to hang around and be patient because I know my gifts are making room for me. But if Source tells me to move on from something, I'm going to be obedient. Again, you're on your throne, carefully vetting your thoughts. Here we also have the Six of Pentacles, and again, you're not looking for people's approval. You are literally in a mindset of, I'm not looking for people's approval. So you're being approved in both your personal and your professional life to move towards financial independence and legacy wealth with whomever, whether it's them or somebody else. You know, legacy could be, again, your legacy is what you want to be known for, right? And so that has to, whoever's in your life who wants to coexist with you has to align with your legacy. And if they're not, then okay, I'm gonna have to say goodbye. When as soon as source says, or like I said before, if you're confused, you're saying somebody's prayer is okay, source expose everything in me or around me that could hinder me from serving you and being a blessing to other people's lives. And if that happens, and everything will be exposed, and then give me an exodus strategy, even if they cut you off. So if they cut you off, hey, either way, you're gonna be fine. Either way, you're gonna be fine. Even in your vulnerable state, you're gonna be just fine. So here we have, I trust my inner voice. That's it. That's source. You trust your inner voice. Trust it, trust it, trust it. You know, try not to stress yourselves out. So Pegasus, number 30. Break free, dear ones. Spread wide and far, for you aren't containable. You are limitless. That's right, you are limitless. So you are limitless. You are limitless. Because you are. I'm trying to see if there was any other cards. Let's see these cards here. Okay, let me get one more set of cards here. Gemini, we're gonna go ahead and close this out. Let's get one more set of cards and we're gonna close this out. And give me a second. Yeah. Like when I look at your cards, like somebody may be saying, is it the person that I'm with? It could be that the person that you're currently with. I mean, unless you're married to that person, I'm not talking about that, right? I'm talking about like a person you're dating, like you're trying to get to know them, right? Or you're courting them in business or whatever, that kind of thing. Just carefully vetting their spirit. That's why you're sitting on your throne, the Queen of Swords. You're carefully vetting. You're listening to your spirit and you're waiting for instructions from source, but in the meantime, you're operating in your purpose. So even if it's someone you're courting right now in business or courting them to, you know, in a lovely potential romantic relationship, you are not losing sight of your purpose, right? You've already been under harsh judgment from energies in the past. You've already recognized that could have been a demon of fear, doubt, like fear of being judged by people and that kind of thing. So that's not what your worry is. But if source tells you, if you're in your prayer and you're saying, okay, if this is going to distract me from serving you, please remove it from my life. That could mean that person is saying to you, hey, you don't have enough time for me, or I have second thoughts about this and I need to move on. Your response is going to simply be, okay, you didn't waste your time. You're actually being obedient, right? And you're not overthinking it, because overthinking would be like living in your head. You're talking to source. You know, if it is for you and source says, okay, allow, you know, then a different kind of conversation will be had. So here we go, the Ace of Pentacles, and I definitely see, again, you working really, really hard. Let me put all it, because somebody was definitely at a point of burnout. That's why you see so much fire here, you know, in your cards, so much fire. So we have the Queen of Wands, so I see somebody feeling really good about moving forward, very positive. We also have the Page of Wands. We're going to count up all of this fire here. We also have the Nine of Wands, right? So somebody's at the end of a long and arduous journey. The Knight of Wands, and then also the Four of Wands. We'll add all of this up in just a second, but we also have the Ace of Pentacles, right? So let's add this up. Ace of Pentacles twice. That's you and somebody. You and somebody, like I said, you're not looking for approval. They're not necessarily, hopefully they're not, I mean, your actual person is not looking for approval either. You also have, you know, they, like I said, they hold you in high regards, but you may need a break for a second to just really kind of sort of sit back and think, how much more time do I need to put into something, right? Because I don't want to get back to a point of burnout. So let's count all this fire here as well. Let's count all of this fire here as well. So we have the Ace of Wands. We also have the Queen of Wands. Let's put this here. So your attitude is definitely going to determine your altitude, just so somebody knows, right? Okay, cards. What are you doing? What are you doing? Okay. 2, 3 is 5, and 5 is 10, right? So I see you being booked and busy and not burdened at all, you know, especially after coming out of a long and arduous journey, right? We also have the Knight and Three of Wands, and so Source is definitely saying take a leap of faith. You're gonna feel like two types of situations, meaning that in the past you would have been burned out or like in a state of confusion. You're leaving that behind. You're not confused at all. When you get to a point of confusion or burnout, you're saying, okay, before I get to confusion and burnout, I'm going straight to prayer, right? So if I'm not getting clear answers, I'm not playing mind games when I can go directly to source and pray to source to give me some answers, and all I have to do is quiet myself to get the messages coming back from source. And so that's what I'm seeing for you all. So that you don't even have to stress yourselves out. Somebody is definitely in source has your attention, like spirit has your attention. Your eyes are wide open spiritually and otherwise. Your eyes are wide open. So that's a good thing. That's a good thing. Somebody is definitely learning how to have those conversations with source. Right here we have also the Ace of Wands. Third eye is wide open. Somebody is definitely having those, learning not to go back through their own David and Goliath, kind of energies. Definitely say, see, you are protected and loved. That's right, you are protected and loved. I feel like somebody knows that you're a good person, but you're not about that going back and forth. You're not about all that fighting and arguing and stuff with somebody or people just in general. Somebody's just in a different spot. It's like, you know what, I can just pray about it. Why? Because that's an internal battle and fight within yourself that other people may be going through, but you're not interested in joining that fight, that David and Goliath fight. Swinging swords and cussing people out and all of that others. You're not even interested in that. So, yeah, definitely see you moving beyond all of that. You got too much purpose, especially if you feel like you've been in relationships in the past where you've been burned out and stressed out and lost everything and all of this, and then meeting new energies. You're like, okay, I'm on a different frequency now. So outrageous openness. Dear love, open me to your will, release me from my attachments. And that's what I'm talking about. Surprise and delight me with your plan. You know what's needed and I am open to receive. So I feel like somebody, if you're dating somebody and or you're courting some businesses and things like that, I feel like somebody's leaving their options open. That's what I feel like. Like really just like in hermit mode, just going through checklists, like weighing pros and cons, going through checklists. And again, you don't have to get into an argument. Like some people, that's low vibration. You don't have to get into an argument with the person to cut them off. You can keep it at a high frequency and say, okay, I need to move on, and just leave it at that, at a high frequency, and just move on from something. So that's what I see you all doing, just being on that frequency of keeping your vibrations as high as you possibly can. So, yeah. So, hopefully that makes sense to somebody. Let me make sure we got everything. Let's get a number. Like I said, I don't see you all in 2024 burning yourselves out. I don't see you all, like I said, trying to burn anybody's reputation like people have done to you. You're just letting karma handle that. You're just like, I'm not doing all of that. Because the downside of being vindictive and vengeful is that you don't really know what people's intentions are and what they may have been going through. So you may be attacking somebody that is in the middle of a storm and source is trying to help them get out, and they're vulnerable. And they could be in a vulnerable state, right? And that thing can backfire and hit you. That's why I tell people, close it out in love. It's best for you to say, start tossing some things into a burning bowl and moving on with your life. Just moving on. So, number 11, I am intuitive. That's right. Step through these two pillars right here. I'm getting off the fence. I'm stop overthinking this to a point of burnout. I'm getting into prayer. I'm quieting my mind. I'm being in receiving mode of whatever source tells me to do, and I'm going to be obedient to that. So if source tells me to be patient, while source works on other people's hearts, then I'm going to do that. But as soon as source gives me the green light, deuces, especially like this number, this like it's 11, but it's like 2 ones. If it's disrupting my peace, if it's not adding to my peace, there's only one other answer. It's that black or white. It's disrupting my peace. And I need that piece of source inside of me to continue on my task and helping, mankind, doing my part to better mankind. So that's where I'm saying intuitive, right? So you have a keen awareness of what's happening around you, Gemini. A strong intuition is your gift and will help you understand the unspoken feelings and thoughts of others. This insight allows you to be a great guide and supporter. Yep. That is what I have for you, Geminis, and I will see you on Sunday. Again, happy full moon phase. This is for the 26th of January through the 26th of February. If you if you do full moon rituals, you can do it 3 days leading up to actual full moon, up to 3 days afterwards until we swing into the next phase where we're gonna get ourselves prepared for the last quarter moon phase. So you can still do your full moon rituals. That's what I have for you, and I will see you all on Sunday. Bye.